How are you anyway?
I'm all right, as best as we can be. It's just liquid and we just don't know what's going on. So everybody's in limbo doing whatever they love, which I do music, which is keeping me sane right now.
Okay. You touched on it with the COVID, so literally, I know you says it's impacted you. Has it impacted you in your general day to day, or has it made you more creative? Because right now you are producing some wicked material through the COVID.
Well, the creative is always there because things are always going on. So definitely, as an artist, I have had a lot of inspiration. I've been writing a lot of songs. Obviously, I've just released my EP, which is called Mini Moods of Clear Angel, and that just depicts the variety and the different, genres that I can go in.
Yeah.
And a track that's just been released today, just in time for the Valentine's lovers. Love. So we just released that today. So these are ideas that we've had during the pandemic, before the pandemic, but obviously we've got a lot more stuff to come as well. So yeah, I have become more creative because that's all we can do, because we can't go nowhere. We're not really performing on the stage. So really it's my time now to just write some songs and get some songs out there. And that's what we're doing, because that's what the people then want right now. They need music to uplift their soul, because music is it's everything. I think, not because I'm a musician, I just think that music is life. Music isn't just a tune that you hear on the radio. Music is the birds singing outside. Music is the beat of your heart. Music is the beat of your footprints when you walk on the road or the floor. These are things that are, have you ever listened to the night? Just listen to the night. You hear so many things, and then listen to sun setting or the sun rising. If you ever listen to what's really out there, it's all musical. So music, that's all we want to give the people, to uplift their soul and make them feel good in this, bad time. And I like to say, a shout out to all of the people that have lost their loved ones. It's been mad.
Licking people down. You've touched on a couple of things, and I'm gonna have to literally rewind you back to some of the things you touched on, because there's some special things. One, congratulations on the release today. Big up yourself, sister. That's a big cover, man. You've done it justice.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Justice, man. It's that, obviously, because it's a classic anyway, but because you can sing so well, you can do them harmonies. It's hard to I think, for people to do a cover, do it justice to where you can say, all right, can a DJ have that in their box? Are they playing it? Are the radios playing it? You haven't even released it and people are already going mad for it. I've listened to it several times and the tune is a wicked cover, sister. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man, big up Miss Carleen Davis as well, because it's her song. And yeah, man, it's a lovely song. It's always been a banger that everybody loves. It's a song that I feel like isn't played every time you go out, but it's a song when it is played, it mads up the dance. So I've always wanted to sing the song from I've been younger. So I got the chance. I was working with a man named King Spears,
right?
And he brought back the rhythm.
Big up.
The voice it. So big up Carleen Davis, because she's done the original, and obviously I didn't want to, touch her song and not do it justice. I'm glad that everybody's saying that. Yeah, I've done it justice. Because sometimes you can do a cover.
Yeah.
I think there's some songs that you shouldn't touch. Some songs just can't be touched. You're not going to be able to sing it back the same way, the same feeling. But then there are some songs I really think that song kind of suits my voice as well. And it's a song that I love. Yeah, man, we got Still in Love.
Do you think how you touched on saying a lot of people don't always play that tune? Do you think it's because of the concept of the tune coming from a woman, or?
Maybe, because obviously when she was singing it in them times, that was kind of I'd say a controversial subject to talk about. Then
from a woman as well.
Cheating, it's adultery, it's all of them things, and that's what the song is saying. But that is the excellence of the song. That even though it's talking about that, it's a mesmerizing song. It takes you in, because there was a lot of things. These things still go on. People cheat.
Real life thing.
Three-way relationships, four-way relationship. They're with your baby father, they're with your baby mother, but you have a chick on the side or a man on the side. These things are happening. So at the end of the day, when we get them songs that are real talk that people don't want to talk about, it's happening. It hasn't happened to me. It's not a song that I can relate to like that, but I've seen things happen. You understand? So I can empathize with certain stuff. Yeah, that's a really good song for the times as well. Definitely. Yeah, and I feel like resurrecting back that Lovers Rock song will keep the Lovers Rock alive as well, because I feel like it's kind of dying out. You know what I mean? But,
and is that something that you want to continue to? Because I mean, a lot of Lovers Rock is from the UK, especially with the female singers. Man, they've created some of the most classic Lovers Rock hits, but over the last 20, maybe 30 years, it hasn't been as strong.
Yes, and I think that's because, no disrespect to them, because we love them, man. You know, the Janet Kays, Carrot Thompson, Sandra Crosses, all of them. I think like they need to kind of encourage us more, work with us more. I know they've been doing their thing, you know, and they've got their legacy, because really they've done nothing now. They've got their legacy.
Yeah.
You know, they've got their catalogue, as you call it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, I've took in a show and it's amazing, you know, a Carol Thompson show, it's amazing, and they did what they were doing in that era, but I feel like if they passed us the baton a bit,
right,
and, you know, gave us some more encouragement, which they do, you know, because there's times I get encouragement from them and stuff like that, but I think more working with the artists, like doing collabs and doing shows together and things like that to show that, you know, the next generation. I think that's where, you know, because there are people out there from London, from the UK, doing Lovers Rock females.
Yeah.
You know, it's not connecting because we need to be given the baton by the greats, by the legends, and go on, man, go run it, because when they're gone, who's going to be there to continue the legacy? So I think that's what we need to sort out. We need to start the young to get the young artists back and involved in the history of Lovers Rock. You know what I mean? We need to come together and start doing more shows together, and, you know, doing more stuff in the industry together. It can't just be you're doing that and we're over here and you're over there, because we're all doing the same thing. We're all working for the same cause.
You know what? Like, it's refreshing to hear you say that, because I think a lot of people back off from that conversation, either out of respect for the artist, but in real life, it's facts. You know what I mean? And it's supposed to be teach one in regards to music. So if the ones who was holding the baton, for example, aren't passing it on, aren't showing the love, isn't supporting, aren't doing the shows like you're saying, and the collabs are absolutely instrumental, and if they're not happening, why are they not doing that?
I don't think they don't have love for us. I think they do have love for us, and they do watch our progress and that. I think that they just probably caught up, or they probably don't feel like it's a necessity.
Because they're not active either, are they? Really?
Pardon?
They're not really active, other than there was a live last year that a few of them did.
They're active in their own right, because they've got their name. They've got their accolades.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it would be lovely to work with a Janet Kay, Carol Thompson.
That would wicked link up, sister.
That would be absolutely heavy, because they're bringing the music to another level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
you deserve that, you know. Like,
I like interviews that I talk openly about the industry, because sometimes I feel like as an artist you just have to do what you do, because people say, oh well, how dare you have that opinion, why are you saying that? But I feel like as a musician, as an artist, as a contender in the business, I'm supposed to say what I'm saying. And as I said, no disrespect to all of them artists, I look up to all of them, I study them, I know about them, you understand? Because if you don't know where you come from, you're not going to know where you're going. So, you know, in the 80s, the 90s, Lovers Rock was great, raining, rocking up the place. So a song like Steen in Love just resurrects it back up. You get me? You start to think about Louisa Marks, you start to think about all these.
You do.
And obviously some of them have passed away. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you got the Colfies, I love her. You got the Sylvia Tellers, wicked, energetic.
Actually, that should have been your kid.
You know what I mean? So yeah, And Sylvia Teller's made me share a stage with her, and that was an honour because, you know, she's another female veteran who's been on tour, done it, who's very energetic and lively. You understand me? So yeah, it's all love. You know, we're up for doing our thing, but obviously everybody's got to carry their self. We can't blame an artist and say, oh well, why ain't you passing the baton? Why ain't you carrying me? Why ain't you doing this for me? Because it's not about that. Because when they were coming up, they had to work hard, get out there, do their thing. You understand? But I just feel like when I do reach to a certain level, I would like to, if I see a talent like myself, if I can do everything in my power to make them move to the next level, that's what I'm going to do. And it's not just about everybody sitting over there, you over here. It's about everybody coming together because, as I said, we're all doing the one thing. We're all going to the one place and we're only getting older and older. So the legacy have to carry on. Reggae music have to carry on. Lovers rock have to carry on. Roots rock reggae have to carry on. And the only way it carries on is when we, as the young, the older heads, pass it on to we, and we pass it on. It's tradition, it's culture.
Amen to that, man. Big up to yourself, man. Love that. Love that passion coming out of you, man. It's excellent. And that's why, as well, I can relate to you in your songs, your lyrics, whether you're DJing or whether you're singing, it's coming out. And I can hear it there because, again, most people can't really have that conversation. They're just not brave enough to have it. And they, you know what I mean? Or they're just too scared of, like you're saying, for people to be able to then talk on what they've said when actually their truth was not what they might perceived it to be. When in reality, it's facts. Artists should definitely be helping up and coming artists. And to be fair to you, Claire, you're like, I'm going to have to put it out there, and I'm definitely going to have to put it out there and say you are factually 100% the number one female reggae and dancehall DJ coming out of the UK, because you're bad to the bone. You're bad. And your catalogue of work just backs you up. Like, it could be you're on One Extra, tearing it down. I'm saying, yo, this girl is talented. Supporting Chronixx, your body of work, the King Jammys. Talk to me about that, because that's a project that I need to know more about. Like, how did that come about? Like, what was the experience like? Because
my background is sound system, so I think that's where it all came forward. And plus, you know, my dad was a sound man, so I knew about all the sounds from across the world. You know what I mean? And I think that sound influence makes me definitely know who King Jammys are. You know, they were a sound, and then they became producers. They produced some of the baddest rhythms. You know,
you started with Golden Hen, right?
Yes. So, my manager, big up yourself, Mr. Jack Rubin.
Big up Jack Rubin.
That's my manager. He has a link with, you know, a lot of people in the industry, but he happens to have a link with King Jammys himself. So they've had a link for like, you know, years and years and years. He happens to be managing me. He's like, oh, let's do this idea. I think that I just want to, you know, just ride sometimes on any King Jammys with him, and we just do a King Jammys mixtape. And my manager was like, yeah, man, that's a wicked idea. I was like, yeah. So we got the permission from his King Jammys himself. Yeah. And he endorsed it. He loved the mixtape. I've also got some other projects that are going to be coming out soon under the King Jammys label, but also under Launchpad Media Arts.
Wicked.
So yes, that was a wild project, and it took about 6 months to complete.
Okay.
And, you know, sometimes we done songs and we didn't really like it, because those are songs that I've already got out there as well. So I decided I'm going to put the mixtape, and I really enjoyed it because it was creative, me being creative, you know, on those rhythms, and it showed that yeah, that's the foundation of reggae music, you know what I mean, the sound system. So yeah, it was an honour to be able to document King Jammys and his greatness without him being dead and still alive, because you want to pay homage to them while they're still alive, you know what I mean. So it was nice to hear that and embrace that. So yeah, it was a wicked project.
Big up. And you know what as well, like, this is what people need to listen and understand and learn, because you're being very insightful in terms of how, you know, how you should conduct yourself throughout the industry. So what you're saying is you've come up with this idea because you're trying to pay homage to the culture. you know, your manager's LinkedIn. You're thinking, you know, it took 6 months to produce, but yo, that project is exceptional and it's rare. You know what I mean? And it's what artists really should be doing, especially if you're DJing as well. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be on rhythms. If you're not on rhythms, then
most of the artists do pay homage, but they don't admit that that's what they're doing. So some artists will pay homage. They'll, you know, mimic a line or mimic a style, and they don't say, "Oh well, I'm mimicking that style." Like Idonia's got a tune called "Yeah Man," and it's with Governor, and it says, "Teeth my style and them no even shit." And that means you took my style, used my style, me no mind, but you didn't look me on and say, "Yeah man, me acknowledge say I hear a style." And the greats don't do that, because the Jay-Z's and the Beyonce's, they take from the old school and they revamp.
But big up yourself, man.
They pay homage. Sometimes in reggae we have had times where they've used our melody and they haven't really come to us, but when we've found out, we've gone to them and they've paid homage. You understand? They've gave us the dues. So yeah, we give them the dues while they're alive. And as I said, not every artist have to do that, but that is just me. I'm a cultured artist from back in the day. I know about the wall of the sound. I've performed with sounds like Stereograph and sounds like that, and that's just like a mad thing. You're only a young artist and you got the opportunity to perform with Brigadier Jerry, with Little John. You get me? Them things are just mad. So, man, give thanks that they're still alive as well. Because there's enough artists I've never met, like Dennis Brown. I would have loved to have met Dennis Brown. I would have loved to have met Jacob Miller. I would have loved to have met Peter Tosh. I would have loved to have met Bob Marley. You know what I mean? I would have loved to have met a lot of artists that have passed away. So it's great when you can say, "Oh, I've met Berries. You know, I've met Taurus Riley. I've met Marcia Griffiths. I've met Mighty Diamonds."
Yeah,
that's an honour in itself, because these are people who have made great contributions and great music to the industry.
Definitely. Big up yourself, man. So full of knowledge, man. I love it, man. You're wicked, sister. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself for being clear angel, man. The listeners who's here will be all like, round of applause in you, man, because you're just showing greatness. Your glow's like.
You're doing to keep doing what you're doing, because I've been researching. You know, you're a bad girl in your game. Yeah, do your thing. So big up yourself and thank you for the support and reaching out to me. You know what I mean? Because you could have said, "Sure." You understand?
Awesome. No. You're my favourite UK singer, female singer. You get me? Because if I have to, all right, so for me, I've branched you out of the UK, yeah, because your catalogue is strong enough to say, I've surpassed the UK. You know what I mean? The amount of sounds that's put you on dub globally elevates you to be a global artist. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm blown away by you, sister. And trust me, man, you're a bad girl artist, and I rate you highly.
Thank you very much, Julia.
I wanna touch on sound systems, because you talk about it a lot. You spoke about your dad being part of the sound class culture. You've spoken about yourself having a love for this. Talk to me more. Would you say you're an artist that? Talk to me about it, because I want to know if it's a part of your artistry that you categorize as being within your genre.
Oh yes, definitely. Sound system is a big influence on me, even though I sing and I do different genres.
Right.
Reggae music is something that, as I said, it's not just the reggae music what you listen to, it's the sound system. Like, I actually was born into a family where I see the dub plates. I see how my dad has to go to the record shop. I used to go to the record shop with my dad at the record shop down here called Don Christie every single Sunday, and we used to go there. We used to go to some places that he used to play, and he used to string up the sound on a Saturday. We used to go there, string up the sound, and I used to have my bowl of soup. And
wicked.
You know, when we went to Jamaica, me and my mum, we went first place we're fine. When we land and we settle is a record shop to bring in back the latest records. So sound system has been a big influence, also because my dad made me know about enough artists,
right?
You know what I mean? Because I was always listening to them and I was intrigued as well. Plus, from a very young age, from 3 years old, I knew that I had vocals, I could sing. And my dad, also where I get my voice from, because he's a bad singer. He sounds like Dennis Brown.
Is it?
So,
wicked.
Sound system, definitely.
Right.
is a big influence. And then when I started to watch the stage shows with all the artists back in the days,
yeah, wicked, best things,
opened up another creativity for me, because I'm like, wow, well, this is where the artists really, they do work hard now, but I mean, work hard means like you have to be on the ball, you have to know how to sing, you have to know how to dance, you have to know how to dress, you have to know how to make yourself, you have to know how to entertain, you have to have the right words, the right this, the right that, the right look. And then they're coming from poverty.
Yeah.
And then they're struggling. And then they're still putting on a great show because the struggle is real. They want to reach somewhere with this music, it's the talent they have.
Burning desire.
Yeah. So reggae music, dancehall, sound system, big influence.
It's in your DNA, man.
I went to the Kilimanjaro clash with Ricky Trooper.
Right.
And it was at a place called Oakland's, and I was probably about 15.
But okay.
In this, and he was standing on the table and he was like shouting, and I was like, yes, this is where me want to be.
Wicked.
Sound girl.
Wicked.
Obviously, my musical talent of singing, that took me another way, but I can string up a sound and I could have a sound. I actually do have a sound because my dad's sound is my sound. So
jeez! But
you know, that's just the history.
Wicked.
You are the one, man, and that's back to basics. When the artists them you go to a dance hall and they run a rhythm and you have to toast pan that whatever you did right this morning or last night, you have to go up there because everybody you're a star. So yeah, man, big up to sound system. It's really influenced me because I feel it's made me good on different sides. Just like when I entered X Factor, that was another side, you know, a different side, what I experienced, and it was good. So all of these through life, they just mold me to be who I am today.
Wicked, man. I love your story behind that. I can hear it, I can see it, I can feel it within you, because sound clash and, you know, that environment, like you're explaining, it's not an easy environment to be in, especially as an artist, especially back in the day. Now it's easy. A lot easier. Back in the day, you think you could step to the mic and man are passing the mic round, and then you do get the mic and you flop. No. You have to build.
Even in the studio, they used to voice the songs, and you've got a 4-track. And at the end of the day, if you make a mistake, it's a big wheel of tape that's gonna get messed up. You understand me? It's not like you can delete and put
real to real
and paste and all them something. They never had them things, so you have to be good. So you know, artists are still excellent now, but I feel like they worked harder back in the days. And I don't want to say they worked harder because obviously their work rate and the way you work has kind of changed, but it still hasn't, because you still have to practice as an artist. You still have to, you know, do what you got to do. So, yeah.
Touching a little bit on that, like diverting slightly, but do you feel like there's not enough artists within the UK to kind of keep that fire going? Because personally, I feel like there's a massive lack of dancehall and reggae artists in the UK. It's minimal.
If we want it to excel and go on, we need to pass the baton again. It goes back to the same thing, pass the baton and let it go on and concentrate on the UK artists that we have here, instead of the promoters and the DJs always looking to, them artists are wicked and everything, but we have them here as well, and it's like sometimes them bypass the artists where they are, so, and they're doing their thing, they're well talented, you understand, but you know, the mainstream artists will always get that first come first thing, if you get what I mean. And that's what we need to start. We need to concentrate on Yasso, and the UK artists need to concentrate on here, because as you can see, we're in a lockdown mode where you can't fly nowhere, you can't go nowhere, you can't go to Europe and do no shows, and that's where we get the main of the most of our shows, the bulk of our shows. You can't fly to Jamaica at the moment. We're in a pandemic, so what do we have to do now? We have to turn to this virtual. We can't come in your studio with you, come to the interview. You have to look at your face on Zoom. Understand? So the times have changed now, so we've got to just get out there more. But there are artists doing their thing, trust me, they are. They're making a sound and doing their thing. It's just that you're not always going to get noticed. You just need to get noticed by the right people, you know, and keep putting out the music and doing what you said. You come underground. Some people do music for fun. Some people do music for the love of it. Some people do music for fame. Some people do music for different things. You understand?
I know. Trust me. That's what I say to people. At the end of the day, you have to own yourself as an artist. You need to put work in. I had my last interview. I had to tell one of my article people about putting in the work, because I can't give ratings when no work's being put in.
That's another thing.
I can give legacy ratings, but I can't give future ratings.
And that's what a man will say, where you're not knocking on the right doors, or you're not making enough noise. You gotta make noise.
You gotta put in the work, man.
Making noise. And Styler G, I always talk about him. He's one of them. He's making noise, and he didn't just get up making noise. Yeah. He's been trying to make noise for the last 20 years. He's been doing his thing. You understand? And now stop and get licked down in bonks right back. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
G, man. We got Styler G. We got Styler G.
Man, big him up. And that's the type of work rate I have. That's the type of work rate I see enough artists have. That's why if you put in the work, you reap where you sow. That's all I can say. Yes, it's hard.
Yeah.
And I have to give thanks that I'm still out there. I'm still in a bit of demand at this time. It's not like they can see me in the stage show. You understand? So I have to give thanks for that, man. Give thanks to all the DJs, all the promoters, all of the people that buy the tracks, all of the people that support the thing in this hard time. But always know that music is always going to be the uplifter. Music is always going to be the one that's going to bring you through. My opinion, that's what I think.
Amen to that. Absolutely. And definitely make sure you go and support Claire Angel across her social networks and support her work. She's just literally released a brand new single today called Stealing Love. It's a bad cover. So you know what I mean? Getting out your feelings.
To know about the EP as well. Many Moods of Claire Angel. Go check it out. There should be something on there to make you, feel differently, think differently. Go and purchase it, support the artist. I want to just, point out that support the artist, support the artist.
Very, very important, because at the end of the day, I think the more people realize that for some artists who are serious artists, music is their life. It means financially, music is their life. It's their bread and butter, and they're putting in works, even investing, money themselves in themselves. So what they're expecting at the end of it is for people to, respect that and go out there just like you would with anything else you want, like, need. It's not just about, because times are changing, you can just download this, download that. No, it's about supporting artists. So go grab everything you can from Claire Angels. You know what I mean? If it means you're having a little less one, whatever, this week, then so be it. Be out there, support beautiful, black, hard working, strong women. You know what I mean? That's what it's about.
Definitely. I agree. So guys, you can check me out on Claire Angel Eyes, which is my Twitter, Claire Angel Music twice, which is for my Instagram and my Facebook. And yes, www.claireangel.co.uk, that's my website, so you can check out everything that's going on. Obviously, we're in a pandemic, so we're not really doing the performances, but there are so much things in the pipeline. We're looking to do an EP launch and stuff like that, so look out, keep the vibes going. And I know we're going through some hard times, but we just have to stay blessed, stay focused, stay safe, and just do what we got to do to get through. You know what I mean?
Amen to that. Seriously important. X Factor. What was that experience like, girl?
Well, it was a very mind-blowing experience. I mean, when I first entered it, I didn't really know the emotions that I was going to feel, but during, after, there was a whirlwind of emotions. I didn't know why I wasn't on the show anymore. I didn't understand what happened, but probably about a year later I started to understand that. I think you have to go through things to experience something, and X Factor was something I always wanted to go on from I was young, when I pied up, you know what I mean. And I thought, I just want to see if I know I can sing, and I know I got what it takes, because Simon Cowell and them can't really validate when you sing to crowds of people who gravitate to your music and feel it.
Yeah.
So you must be doing something. You must have something because of the impact you have on people.
Yeah.
Like impact of you go somewhere and you sing and people are crying, like bawling their hearts out, telling you how you touched their heart and how you made them do this. And that makes you want to cry because you're thinking, wow, imagine I do have something really powerful. And sometimes it's scary because an artist who's portraying and influencing masses, it's frightening that you have this talk or this presence that can move people. That's why I'm very mindful of what I sing. I'm very mindful of what I put out. I don't sing profanity. I don't try to sing anything that's gonna, bring the thing in disrepute. And that's just my flex because I have youths and I feel like there's so much of that already. We need some balance.
Right.
Yeah.
So, here you are. Trust me. We need some consciousness.
X Factor was like another side of me. So you have the dancehall side, the ragamuffin side, then you have the sophisticated side, the TV show side.
Lovely.
Lovely. Makeup, blah blah blah. That was the side, and then you got to see how show business goes. Like action. So it was good.
Right.
It was a wicked experience, and I got what I wanted. I got the standing ovation from the judges. Standing ovation. I don't know what happened for the 6-chair challenge, but I'm always grateful for the experience because, as I said, that's what it was. It was supposed to be to teach you something, and it taught me a lot.
Yeah.
It taught me how to pose. It taught me how to do things differently because when you're doing the same thing all the time, there's things that you have to change. There's things that they told you to do and you've done it. So there's Simon Cowell doesn't have to tell me, oh, do that and it's the right thing and I'm not going to do it because it's not Simon Cowell. Nah, my manager as well, big up yourself, Jack Rubin. He's not just a manager, he's a producer, he's creative, he's a mentor, he's a lot of stuff because, artists who are trying to reach to the pinnacle, we definitely need that team, that strong team that knows us. There's a lot to an artist. It's not just to see them, and I always like to come across as a real artist. I don't want to be fake about nothing. So certain times when I will talk, and it sounds like whatever, but I don't like to be fake. I like to talk and make I am. So when you find out this or you seek out that, you think, oh wow, she did tell us, she did make us know, because as a public figure, you want to tell the public everything good. You don't have to tell them everything bad, but you want to tell them everything good. And you want them gravitate to everything good, but you don't want them gravitate to your mistakes, what you're going to make as an artist, or some roads that you probably go down that's not right. They want to gravitate to everything. Now, definitely now social media, everybody put them life on social media. So a life on social media because privacy, to keep a bit of privacy, that's a good. However, just know that when you're a public figure, you are basically, they want you to be transparent. So back to my point, I'll never be a fake person. I'll always tell it how it is. This is me. You have to conform. Enough times we go places and we have to conform. We ain't going to do what we do up the road that we do down the road. That's just standard procedure. However, we try to remain to be ourselves.
Sounds like you took that experience and you've done the right thing with it, which is take the experience in a positive way. You say it took you a year to really reflect, but these things take time sometimes because it must have been crazy to be on the X Factor and to make such an impact. That's the difference, because I sat in my yard, saw you come on the stage, and the first thing I thought was, oh, yo, this girl look turn up. Because that's how you look. You look like, you get me, your thing was turn up, hair, hat. I was like, yeah, my type of style. I can see this girl's about to do. And then I was like, ooh? I was like, what? No. It was all like a mad emotion. And because it's at such a high level, like you're saying, you must have experienced fame, stardom, TV at the highest level, because that's what the X Factor is. It's $1 billion industry.
And that's what they say. Where'd you go from there? That's why I'm kind of glad in myself that I didn't win. Because at the end of the day, I'm not tied down. I can still go.
A lot of winners don't bust anyway.
We're already established doing our stuff. It would have been nice to win. However, I didn't really think I was going to win anyway.
Did you not? Is that because you just know it's X Factor and why? Tell me.
Yeah, because I've studied the thing, and that's like the third time I've entered X Factor, and I never got so far.
Okay.
So I kind of know what it is. It's either you're too talented or they can't mold you, or you've got less talent, or it's always something and you don't know what they are looking for. You just have to be yourself. And I think I was just myself. You know what I mean? Maybe I could have, because there's people who go to classes to learn how to be in X Factor, and not even just X Factor auditions. There is a method.
I know.
I don't use that method. I just
went in there. London is something else, man.
I mean,
X Factor training.
Everything's a method, and even when you're doing music yourself, you still, whether it's an unorthodox method, your method, or somebody else's method, there still has to be a method for it to come out properly. So their methods, how they do their TV show, is a good look. You know, it makes people be discovered. 150,000 people never knew me.
There you go.
You know,
there you go.
And now they do. So you gotta give thanks for that experience, and give thanks that you're not tied up, and you can be freelance and still, you know, I'm an independent artist signed to an independent label. You know, so it's a good look right now. So we can be creative, we can call the shots, we can put together this EP called Many Moods of Clear Angel, coming from the team's help, coming from my experiences. This is what we've put out. So I'm in a good space now, Delia. I'm enjoying life.
Wicked.
Lockdown easy, because it's time for people to reflect.
Yes, it is.
Anything you never get done, try to get it done now. And anything you feel like need for change, because there's loads of people that this pandemic just licked.
Yeah, man.
And prepared. You understand? So let's be prepared.
Wicked. I thought you're phrasing. I love listening to your stories, man. I love listening to your journey. I love listening to your history. I just love listening because one, most people might not have experienced some of the things you might have as an artist, but two, it's like, it's the experiences that you're taking from these experiences, they're building you, they're growing you. You know what I mean? Like, I want to ask you a quick question. Was the standing ovation, did that mean more to you than winning? Or would winning the X Factor have given you more self-gratification?
That's a very good idea. That's a very good question, because when you go to speak with a certain ability, you probably get that certain outcomes. That's a good question. I don't really know how to answer it.
I definitely. That's all right. It's all right.
I definitely wanted the validation from the judges, definitely. And when I got the standing ovation, it didn't take me a year. It took me about a year to realise that, Claire, obviously, you didn't go on there and they said you was rubbish. You didn't go on there and they said you wasn't good. Simon Cowell said you can be an inspiration.
Just me.
But then that's a mind block.
Yes.
It messes up your mind, because you think, well, if I'm so good, why didn't you let me go further? And then you go through that for months and months, and then when it airs, because remember, I got kicked off my chair long before it aired. It aired about 2 months later.
Okay.
So everybody's like, wow, Claire, I didn't tell anybody I was going on it until about 5 days before I went on.
Okay.
When we got permission that we could put it out there. So I said, oh, you might see me on X Factor. People had already said they'd been spotting me a couple of weeks before I aired anyway.
Right.
Like, okay then. So when it aired now, everybody blah, blah, blah. And then the week after, I got kicked off my chair. Well, I'd already been kicked off my chair. I was already waiting for it to air, to be honest. And then there was a point where I thought maybe they don't air it, because I know a lot of people who I know personally who have entered, they've got far, they've videoed them, and they didn't show them at all. They didn't even...
Don't lie. What?
And I thought, wow. And they've got all right to do that, because it's not every footage they're going to use. I mean, they took a lot of footage and then they only show like 5 minutes of it. And it, like, my performance was cut. I sang 2 songs and they cut it. When I seen it, I was like, oh, they've cut it.
Okay.
So, like, editing stuff going along for how they're going to put it out there. There's mistakes you're going to make, because everything's live. But however, it wasn't live until you get to the live shows now. Then it becomes live. And you've already been prepped and had practice.
Right.
But yeah, X Factor was amazing. Like, at least I know I've done it. I can tick it off my list and say, I've done it. And I would have liked to have won. I wouldn't even have so much like to won more than I'd like to have got to the live shows, because then I know that now I'm going to be working with some tapper vocal trainers and producers in the business. they would have trained up my voice and I would have learnt a lot.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I was sad for a while that I didn't reach to that stage, because when I watched it and they went to the boot camps and they went to the houses and they had the top musicians working with, that's what I would have loved, you know, to rub shoulders with them big producers who know notes, who can tell you stuff. And I love to learn. That's why I think, you know, I've got such this talent, because I like to take things on, absorb it, put it in my thing, you understand, and take it, because if you work for other people, it can work for you. Not everything ever work for you, but there are things that, as I said, there's a method, there's a way you do it. So yeah, it was great. It was great. I don't regret a minute of it.
But
and I wouldn't do it again. No.
Is that it? Is that your final time?
Yes.
Okay. You know what? It's just like, sometimes people don't understand artists. They don't understand their internal struggles and their daily battles, and their things that they need to get over and overcome to continue to do music. So if you would never be able to put yourself in Claire's shoes at this point, you might not be able to understand where she's talking about the year and what the things she needed to overcome. And even just knowing that something's so huge is going to go live and you already know where you are at, can naturally play on the heart, the conscience, the mind, everything at that point. So you are a strong female, you are a strong artist, you are an inspiration. You have done things that others have not been able to do, let alone the world being proud of you. I know Birmingham must be proud to claim you. And I know you're saying Jamaica's actually your root, so now it might be just Jamaica saying, well, actually, you know what? I feel we. But you're like iconic. You get me? And I understand some of your struggles. So, like you says, for you to being able to have got that training, to have gone in those studios, to have worked with those vocalist coaches, it would have definitely been able to have enhanced you. But really, the story behind it should be is that you already naturally have that. A lot of people are not naturally gifted. They need them. Bottom to the top, they still need them because they'll never be naturally gifted. Some people say, right, I'm going to be a singer and learn to sing. Others like yourself are naturally gifted. You can't have this much history from birth to where you are now within music and not have taken it naturally. You can see, you can hear that. And it's not just a DJ. Most people can't master that side of it. Singing as well. You know what I mean? So it's like everything's within God's plan. You know? And
everybody's journey is different.
At the time, we don't understand all of these things, but
it's clear them should have that. But at the end of the day, you don't really call me and phone me and ask me what I'm doing, what's the next project, how to this and that. So I don't listen to people. I just go forward because I know everybody's journey is different, and I know that all of the artists before me went through struggles and pain and obstacles and I do overcome them. So it's my time to overcome my obstacles, and that's the way I try to be positive.
2021's looking strong for you, girl. Loving the material you've just put out. Begin it as well, you know. Let me ask you a question. What was the reason behind holding it back a little bit? Was there a plan behind that?
The EP?
Yeah.
Well,
wanted to work on it a little bit more, or
yeah, it had to be perfect. Because when you do songs, you voice them, you vocal them. You know, it's a whole production team that's involved. People got to mix, master. Then it's got to be, we've got to hear it, like it. There might be things that need to change, stuff like that. So we released it when it was ready.
Good. And the listeners, the artists that's listening in, I want you to take that as solid advice, because sometimes people rush things for the sake of rushing things when you know what, you don't have to. You're the destiny of your own projects, your own timing, this, that, you know what I mean? And maybe sometimes to get a better product out there, you might need to hold your project back.
But that product's going to be out there for years to come. 100 years from now, that product's still going to be out there unless you get it taken down or whatever, but it's still going to be out there. So I just like to put my best foot forward. And I know
getting mad crazy love. That project is getting mad crazy love, especially with the DJs. I like to do my my research and stuff. I like to see what's popping. I want to know. So I put a project out there. I want to know, are people playing it? What's the feedback? Because and you're getting a lot of attention with this new project and the single. Big up to yourself, yo.
Thank you, Dina. Thank you so much for having me as well.
You're welcome, man. It's been my pleasure. As you've said before, I've tried to, get you and want to speak with you and interview you, and you know what I mean, because you're an inspiration. You're from Birmingham, from the UK. This gifted female artist putting in the works across the years consistently and still producing 10 out of 10 projects. People, make sure you're going out there and supporting Claire Angel. She's already given you her social networks. Make sure you go out there and support Claire Angel. She's a rarity.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you later, guys.
You're welcome, girl. Well, big up and thank you for coming on the industry inside of what. Just before you go, I've got 2 more questions. I keep saying this to you like every 10 minutes, but I've only got 10 minutes. last two things. Who are you inspired by? Is there any artists that actually inspire? I know you've talked about sound system and things like that, but is there any specific artists that are your artists?
I got loads of artists that I really love and admire, and I love and admire them for different things. So we'd be here all day, but just to name a few, Marcia Griffiths, she's like a legendary female who's been there, done that. She's still beautiful, still can sing excellently. I love the female artists like Mama Nancy. They paved a lot of the way for us.
Yeah.
And stuff. I love, most of the male artists. Bon Tequila, I swear to God, he's just an artist that I really, really admire for the amount of artists that he's put on road.
Rodney Price.
I'm saying Mr. Rodney Price.
Mr. Price, big up yourself.
I love enough of the dead artists as well. Like Dennis Brown. I listen to him all day long. R&B. You got the back in the day artist Ella Fitzgerald. I love Billie Holiday because I love her voice and I love the story behind her. A very troubled artist, with and he ended up killing her young, and she ended up not excelling to the heights of where she should have. So when you watch some stories, you get inspired. Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, in the end, Whitney Houston. You get me, Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, you got yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna be here all day.
No. It's good, it's wicked. It's wicked because it shows how knowledgeable you are around other artists. Some artists, they say, yeah. Tell them to name 3, 4, 5, 6 artists. They probably can't even do it. But you have a deeper understanding, and I just think it's because it's just of your being, your natural being. You're a natural artist. You possess something that's special, that's rare for some artists. So big up to yourself, man. Big up to yourself. What was it like being an artist in Birmingham when you was younger?
It was fun,
Was it? Did you?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun because everywhere I went and sang, they always loved me, even if they never liked me for myself and my personality. They always loved me for my voice. So it was all right, and I've got a few people who I got to thank for having my back.
Yeah.
So it was fun because back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, reggae music and dancehall was up. Especially in Birmingham, it was one of the whole spirit. So I had a lot of great experiences as a child, and as seeing certain things building me to be the artist I am today. The stage shows, the experiences, the meeting of the artists.
Yeah.
Doing a show and then get an opportunity from a show. It's just all good, man. So I can't say, there's been hard times because females do have it hard in the industry still. I'm not going to say it's easy, but as I said, I've learned from anything I've experienced. I try to do this nowadays, not be too negative about it, not take it to heart too much, because I'm not going to say to a woman that you haven't experienced that and you haven't gone through that, but try to grasp what it is, the reason why this lesson has been taught to you.
Yeah,
and that's what I really try to do now. So I can't, when they ask me, have you got a fight in the business or whatever, I really don't want to really talk about it like the fight when we get, because fight always did it. You always are going to get a fight. You understand? So if we're always going to be talking about that, no, I'm not getting no fight right now. Right now, I'm getting the love, and that's what I want. I'm manifesting that. I'm getting love. If you wake up every day and say, them not like me, them hate me, them not want to play my tune, them not like me, then that's what's going to manifest on you. They love me. They want to hear my songs, and that's not in an egotistic way. That's just, that's how you have to try to put yourself out there. And every experience, I mean, last year, Delia, I had a very bad experience, and there will be interviews that I will talk about it, but I'm not ready now. But I had a really bad experience this year, and I've never had it in my life, and it was something that, you know, really, really, really shook me, changed me, switched me all around.
Right.
You understand? And I had to look into myself and gather the strength. Because as I said, when I got to X Factor and I didn't get where I wanted to go, for 1 year I was contemplating over it, stressing out myself, worrying myself. I had a pain in my shoulder for like 1 year. And I was going to the hospital, going to the doctors, I was checking, there was nothing wrong with me. And it was just stress. Because you're stressing out on things that you can't control. Everybody who tries to control things that is in the past, you need to look at this serenity prayer, because it tells you, don't accept the things you cannot change, and the wisdom to know the difference, to change the things that you can. If you can't change it, you can't change it. So I can't change some of the rubbish treatment I've got in the business. I can't change some of the people who just don't like me just because they don't. I can't change my past. You understand? I can't change a lot of stuff. I said, I try to be positive and say, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to do this. If there was anything negative that did come in my life or anything that hurt me, it was there to make me stronger and teach me a lesson. And that's how I see it. And I've got my son, he's 16 years old, and I've got to instill.
Didn't know.
Walking around like a nervous wreck. You know what I mean? Crying all the time. You go in one corner and do that. You know what I mean? Times. But we have to
discipline these young kings.
We've always known our people before us. My mum, my dad, they never used to really show me, so them stress out. You get me? Them just everything. And when you get older, you think, wow, to juggle that. Sometimes you don't even know where my school clothes I got come from, and miracles just come, and we don't understand them things until we get older. Until we have our own kids. When you have your own child now, you realize that, wow, you understand everything now. So you get to know.
Put your trust in the Most High, right?
Oh my God! Every single time, the Lord is, you know, the Almighty. You know, other people call him different things. Whatever significance he is into my life, I know that he's there, guiding and protecting and blessing my family. Because the things we've been through, we're lucky to be here. Every morning I wake up, I give thanks. Because you ain't gonna wake up tomorrow, so give thanks. And while you are here, try to find out the purpose what you're on this earth to do. Because everybody's got a purpose. Doesn't matter what it is. But if you don't know the purpose, you're just going to be floating around. While you're here, try to find your purpose and try to do what's the best and the right. You know, I'd like to talk about, you know, we just had a young youth shot and killed in Birmingham here, and it's devastating. You know what I mean? So we need to teach the youths them. And if I can do that through music, that's what I would love to do.
Wicked. R.I.P. to the family and friends of the young boy who's just been killed.
Yeah. Pick up yourself and the family, Charmaine and everybody, you know, that we felt it. It's not my son, but it could have been, and at the end of the day, we feel it.
I know. And pick up to yourself, man, because even within your lyrics, you're conscious. Like you're saying, you don't want to put out profanity. That's not you as an artist. And throughout your catalogue of music, you can hear that is not you. What you're doing is you're teaching, you know what I mean? And I love that in artists. I respect it the most, because anyone can sing anything, anyone can chat about anything, but what are you doing? Where's it going? Who's it influencing? You know what I mean? Like you're saying, there's young kids being shot and killed right now. What do they need to hear? More kill? Nah, man. They don't.
If every artist who's established and out there, who's got a voice to be heard, would say, you know what? This month and the next 2 months, we're doing no songs for the industry. We're going to do songs about these youths and do songs targeted for these youths and try and do something, because it's all of our problem. It's not nobody else's problem. Everybody's got their life to live. Everybody have them things I do. But at the end of the day, we've all got children. We all can relate. We all can feel it. So, you know, we just need to try. But as I said, we can't sit here depressed every day. But these are the things that depress us. These are the things that
real life.
Listen to music. You understand? Because music is the only thing will get me out of my depression.
Good.
Depending on what type of music you listen to. Even the dancehall music that's jump up. When we just want to unwind and we don't want to think about nothing else. Because don't get it twisted, I don't sing profanity, but one of my top DJs is Vibes Cartel. You get what I'm saying? Because he's lyrically and
Can't go around the skills then, man.
he knows what he's doing in the business. The only thing he didn't know is that, certain things.
Yeah.
He just don't want him to be where he is right now musically, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. But one of my favourite artists is Vybz Kartel.
You know what? I've got a mix on my SoundCloud that the day that he went to prison, I released it. And it's about an hour and 20 minutes of just pure Kartel. It's my most listened to mix in my whole SoundCloud. So if you're a big Kartel fan, go and check that mix out as well. Yeah, you're gonna love that back-to-back mix of Kartel. Yeah, I can see the influences, Bounty Killer, Kartel, in your DJ, because I know we're going back into it, but yo, the One Extra performance. I watched it a good few times. I watched it when it first came out. Love that freestyle, man. That one there.
That was a wicked show, man. Shawnee B.
Big up One Extra. Big up Shawnee B on that one, man.
Yeah, man, big up Shawnee B for having me on One Extra. A long time I want to go up on the show then. I got the opportunity after I did the show with Chronixx, the last show in O2. And yeah, man, it was wicked. It was
back off on the shoes and,
nice, because I see everybody else going there and rip up the stage. I thought, it's my turn now. So yeah, that was wicked.
Bad. Claire, why? Right. Is there anything you want to say to the people, to the listeners? I know you're giving your social media. Is there anything you want to say to the people then?
Just stay safe and live in love. You get me? And listen to some sweet Clear Angel and some reggae music. That's all I can tell you.
All right. Well, big up, sis. Thank you so much for coming on the Industry Insider Show with your girl, Miss Tempz. You have been absolutely inspirational. Stay conscious, stay wise, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and continue working hard. Your projects are out there. They're banging. People, go out there and support Clear Angel's projects right now. She's got an EP out there, Many Moods of Clear Angel. She's got a brand new single out, Stealing Love. It's a cover and it's bad. Make sure you go and seek them out and go and purchase them. Enjoy them. Continue to follow Claire's journey because she's definitely not stopping. She's going from strength to strength. She is an artist from the UK, a global artist doing big things. We love, we respect her, and we're saluting her big time on Industry Insider. So, sis, it's big love and mad respect from your girl, Miss Tempz.
Yeah, you don't know. Big up yourself, Miss Tempz. It's Clear Angel representing for Miss Tempz. Big up, big up.